Hi everyone, it's me Red. I'm really sorry for not posting for like 2 weeks. I've been more focused on my ACADS lately since an exam is coming, but I can finally paint, so I'll be making a tutorial on how I paint since I saw a comment in my previous video asking for a tutorial on basically everything, but in this video I'll be focusing more on painting. I've been using gouache for about 3 years now, and honestly it's my go-to medium. It's vibrant, versatile, and gives a smooth matte finish, which is perfect for painting in my sketchbook. Plus, it reactivates with water, making it flexible to work with. Well, at least when it's not completely dried out, which right now mine is really dry, which if you ever have a gouache, you know how tough it gets when it dries. Softening it is a whole process. I usually try to rehydrate it with water, but it gets messy. My hands, my workspace, everything ends up covered in paint. Before I even touch my brushes, I always sketch first. It's a habit that helps me avoid mistakes and visualize the final artwork. Some artists can go straight into painting, but I personally need that rough plan before I commit to colors and details. I used to spend hours obsessing over every little detail in my sketch, erasing and redrawing lines to make it look as perfect as possible, but over time, I realized that sketches don't have to be flawless at all. It is meant to be a rough guide, a foundation that helps bring ideas to life rather than something that needs to look like a finished masterpiece. Instead of stressing over perfection, I now focus on capturing the essence of my idea, knowing that any imperfections can be refined later during the painting process. I start by thinking about what I want to paint, and that process can take some time because I like to make sure I'm truly excited about the idea before I begin. Sometimes my inspiration comes from random things around me, like nature, a color palette I see online, or even a feeling I want to capture. But more often than not, I get my ideas from what I watch, especially when I'm deeply invested in a show, movie, or a book. Right now, I've been completely hooked on Mutyanong Section E, a Wattpad adaptation that has me looking forward to every episode. Since I love creating fan art of characters that resonate with me, I've decided that my next painting will be Yuri and JJ. I know this piece is going to be special because it's inspired by something I genuinely enjoy. I don't usually use just one color straight out of the tube for skin because it can look too harsh or unnatural. Instead, I mix pink and white to get that soft, natural looking base. Depending on the skin tone I'm going for, I adjust how much pink or white I add. If I want a lighter tone, I use more white. If I want a warmer tone, I add more pink and sometimes a bit of red. And for the shadows, I use blue. I sometimes mix a little bit of pink and white as it softens the blue and makes the shadows look more natural. It helps the shadows blend better with the skin tones instead of standing out too much. Once the surface is dry, I then used my colored pencils to refine the details and bring more depth to the painting. Using darker shades of blue, I carefully build up shadows and contours. I focus more on areas where shadows naturally fall, like under the chin and along the sides of the nose. Instead of using black as a darker shade for the glasses, I opted for dark blue to create depth without making the painting look too harsh or flat. Black can sometimes be too strong and overpowering, making the artwork lose its vibrancy. For the hair, Yuri has red hair, which means I need to carefully mix colors to create both the darker and lighter shades. Instead of just using black to darken the red, I mix blue, black, and red together. This combination helps maintain the richness of the red without making it look dull or overly muddy. Pure black can sometimes flatten a color, but by adding blue, I ensure that the darker areas still have vibrancy and depth. For the lighter shades, I mix pink, red, and white to create highlights. For the clothes, Yuri's uniform is primarily white, but instead of painting it with pure white, I decided to mix blue with white to create a subtle tint. For the shadows, I simply add more blue to the base mix. I mixed blue with black for his collar, since the collar is a small but important detail. I redid Yuri's lips because I wasn't satisfied with how they looked at first. Up to the next one. I won't be explaining as much since I've already covered most of the process earlier, and many of the steps remain the same. Enjoy and relax while watching the process as I paint. For this part, I mixed pink with orange to create the skin tone, aiming for a warm and natural shade that complements the overall color scheme. As for the shadows, I continued using my preferred combination of blue mixed with pink and white. JJ's hair, you guys already know that I prefer using a darker shade of blue instead of pure black. Black alone can often look too harsh or flat, making the hair lose its depth and richness. Instead, I like to mix different shades of blue to create a deeper, more dynamic color. And that's it for this painting. I tried my best to explain my process, but I am really not good with my words and I don't know how to teach you guys because I am also self-taught. But if it didn't help as much as you hoped, I'm really sorry. I still hope you guys enjoyed watching and maybe got some inspiration from it.